What's up guys, it's Fight Nerd, and I'm back with another video. If you like the content, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. It helps me, motivates me to keep bringing better content. So anyway man, let's get into this. Shawn Showtime Porter versus Terence Crawford. What can you say about this one, man? I'm excited. When I first heard this fight announced, I was excited. I like both these guys. You know, Terence Crawford, he's been on the pound for pound list for a long time. And, you know, he's good at what he does. There's no, I don't have to break him down for you. He does it all. He can box, he can fight on the inside, he could move, he could do it all. He's just always a joy to watch. And as for Shawn Porter, what can you say? We know what Shawn Porter brings to the table. He's never in a boring fight. No matter what opponent they put across from him, you know, every fight he's been in, he's pushed his opponent to the limits. And I think even in the fights that he lost by the skin of his teeth, you know. So, well, I can't say that for Errol Spence, but I mean, he did push Errol Spence. He got up in Errol Spence's safe space and pressured him a little. I've never seen nobody do that. So we know what Shawn Porter brings. He's never in a boring fight. It's always exciting when he's on the card, you know. No matter who his opponent is, it's going to be exciting. So this is a good one, man. It's especially good for Crawford. I think he needs a fight like this to do his career justice. I mean, he has good fights on his resume, don't get me wrong, but definitely a name like Shawn Porter will be good. Because he's never an easy fight for anybody. He's not gonna make you look good. He's gonna push you to your limits and everything. So this is a good fight for Porter, good fight for Crawford. I don't know, this is just crazy. I'm excited about it. What can you say? We know Shawn Porter, man. He's a workhorse, high energy, volume puncher, pressure fighter. He doesn't really get tired. That's a good thing to see with the type of output that he likes to put out in his fights. He has to have the conditioning and the stamina to back that up. And his dad, Kenny Porter, I think this is one of the best father-son duos in boxing right now. You know, I really respect Kenny Porter as a trainer. You know, I was listening to him in an interview. I can't remember who the interview was with. Maybe it was Fight Hype. But he was talking about, you know, you really can't find somebody to mimic Terence Crawford. So in sparring, he was just giving Shawn a bunch of different looks from a bunch of different fighters, and we all know that includes Tank Davis. And so that's another good fight coming up, and I think that's gonna help Davis in his fight. But so giving Shawn Porter all these different looks I think it's definitely a smart move by Kenny Porter, because they're gonna need that, you know. Crawford is an excellent boxer, mastermind boxer puncher. He doesn't make very many mistakes. I've never really seen him dominated in a fight, period. I did see, you know, when you look back at the Gamboa fight, I mean, he had some awkward moments in there, but once he figured out Gamboa, I mean, he pummeled him. But yeah, I mean, to say the least, that was a little shocking to me. I mean, that fight in general, I mean, it just didn't make sense. But I mean, you can't blame Crawford for taking it, you know. I mean, Gamboa has a very short reach. He's a short guy. His defense is non-existent. So what I'm getting at is I was surprised that, you know, I know Gamboa is an elite boxer, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I'm just trying to say I was surprised with what Gamboa was able to do in spots with Crawford, but not to take anything away from Crawford. Once he figured him out, he definitely it was a massacre in there. But you know, I've never really seen Crawford dominated. He could box, he could fight on the inside, he could move, he could pressure you. We know he likes to switch stances from time to time and all that, which, I mean, that's good, you know. He can do it all. He's been on the pound for pound list for a long while now, and you know, I think this is the fight he needs. You know, this division is a stacked division, but they're not all fighting each other, and it's kind of making the division stale at times. So this is good for boxing, it's good for the division, it's good for the boxing fans. This is a refreshing fight, you know. This is good to see. We need this. You know, boxing needs fights like this. It's definitely, whoever wins this one it opens the doors for Crawford if he wins. It opens the doors for Porter if he wins. So this is a big fight for both of them. Kenny Porter, he seems to have Shawn Porter ready for this fight. They're not making any excuses. They know the opponent that they have in front of them, and I don't think they're taking him lightly. And I don't think Crawford is taking Porter lightly either. So, you know, watching them in the interviews, Crawford, he just looks quiet, cool, calm, collective, and like he's ready to just go out there and dissect Porter, you know. And Porter, you know, he's probably training like a beast, like he always does. We know that. And so it's gonna be an exciting fight. I'm excited for it. These are two of my favorite fighters. Shawn Porter, what can you say, man? He's a workhorse. He's not afraid to fight anybody. He brings it. So I think this is a good matchup. If I had to favor somebody, I mean, of course, I'm gonna favor Crawford because he's just a mastermind. He can make adjustments. He can struggle in spots, but he's a thinking fighter, like kind of like Canelo, like Tank. Even when they struggle in moments, they make those adjustments, and Crawford's a mastermind at that. And Porter is gonna have to be prepared for that. We know that Porter is a high energy fighter, high volume puncher. He doesn't really get tired. So yeah, this is just an interesting contrast of styles. We know the old boxing saying, styles makes fights, and that's what this fight is. You know, there's so many different ways I feel like this fight can go. I could see it being close, maybe by a 2-round separation or something like that. I could see Crawford dominating Porter. I could see Porter surprising Crawford and giving him problems. I mean, there's just so many different ways that I feel this fight can go. I'm excited about it. Yeah, so we're a couple days away, and yeah, it's crazy. I think Crawford, you know, I didn't hear too much about, he didn't speak too much about what he was doing or who he was sparring with. he was a little more candid about that. Porter was a lot more open about it. So that just shows me Porter is confident. He always goes in there confident no matter who he's up against. That's what makes him so great and fun to watch. As far as Crawford, it's just going to be interesting to, Crawford does have, like I said earlier, he has good fighters on his resume, but I really think this is a step up for him. He deserves this. I don't know if, just being with Top Rank for so long kind of held him back against, the politics of boxing, PBC fighters, Bob Arum fighters, De La Hoya fighters, and all that. We know how that goes. But like I said, this is a fight that Crawford needs, and, depending on if he is to win, how he wins, does he dominate Porter? Is it a close fight? I mean, for us, we win, so that doesn't matter. But I speak in terms of like how this affects Crawford moving forward if he is to win, and in what type of a fashion he will win. Crawford is capable of obliterating Porter. I wouldn't be surprised, but it's just like, his style. Like, what did Adrian Broner say? I'm gonna play, he's gonna get confused and think it's a football match. Yeah, but that football mentality, however, Kenny Porter was able to transfer that mentality into boxing and harness it in the way that he did is genius to me. I really respect Kenny Porter as a trainer. So I know he's gonna give his son, the best game plan coming forward against Crawford. And hopefully, Crawford, I know he believes in himself. He has that cocky but quiet attitude, and it's I would say Crawford, it's fun to watch him break down guys. He does it in a different way than Shawn Porter, but they both have the same effect. They take your boxing spirit away. They just kind of implement their techniques in different ways, which for me that makes it so interesting. Well, I'm excited about it, man. I can't say that enough, obviously, but it's gonna be a great fight. The fans win on this one. We needed this. We needed a good fight like this. It's good for Crawford. I like both of these guys. It's hard to pick a winner in this one. It really is. But I have to favor Crawford, of course. I think he's just too good, and he's good at making the adjustments. And so for me, it really depends on what version of Porter shows up that night will dictate how this fight is going to go. Can he keep that high energy but control at the same time? Calculative control, because he's going to need that with Crawford. We know Crawford, like I said, he can just do it all. I think he will be prepared for anything that Porter has to throw at him. So I'm excited about it. This is going to be a great one for boxing. Man, what happens? What's next for both these guys? If Porter wins, he's the king of that division, and if Crawford wins, man, he's on to bigger and better things. I even heard about him taking on Canelo, and I wouldn't be surprised, I know he's a little outmatched, but size and strength doesn't always win fights, so I don't know, man. We shall see. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Who do you pick? Crawford? Do you pick Shawn Porter? Let's just see, man. It'll be a great one. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Share your thoughts. And thank you guys. I'm off to the next one. Peace.